Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the weekly kickoff. All right, there's a little bit to unpack, as you can imagine, right? The US strikes on Iran have been a major talking point across all media outlets. It looks like they've taken out a lot of the nuclear capabilities, right? If you believe what you read on the news. Now, Mike's just given us a bit of an update there a while back. The Iran Council or government has voted to close the Strait of Hormuz. Right now, this will stop 20% of the world's oil supply. So, you know what? You're going to expect oil to move up. But just looking at the markets, right? There's the initial reaction. And just looking at the oil trade here at the moment, obviously it's on, with oil up. But the initial move was oil was up like 2.5% or a little bit higher. Now, that has really simmered down, right? So I think, you know what, this shock and awe tactics that Trump has had with a lot of the tariffs and a lot of other things, the market is now compensating for that. So there hasn't been a huge amount of craziness in the market. Now, if I just widen out the charts here, you'll see down the bottom, there are some gaps, right? There was dollar strength on the open, and let me just widen that out. Dollar Swiss didn't really see much. Dollar yen's up a bit. Dollar CAD, you'd expect dollar CAD to shoot up a bit, obviously with the price shooting up, but then you know what? It's pretty much calmed down, and oil has actually come back a bit. So I think it's going to just take a day or so just for the market to feel comfortable with what's going on. And these little gaps in the market, euro, sterling, Aussie, there would have been gaps across the board, but nothing that has had follow through, right? So that sort of brings back, the market is so desensitized to a lot of this carnage at the moment that it's really hard to read. So just on Mondays, get your charts tuned up, right? Because whether there's a reaction from Iran or they come back and agree, yeah, that's it. We'll have to wait and see. But just looking across the board here, the dollar is having a nice little run of it. You can see on the dollar index up, dollar yen up, dollar CAD up. Dollar Swiss just doesn't want to play at the moment. This to me looks like a bit of a safe haven play in amongst everything else. And you've got euro just drifting lower, sterling, Aussie and Kiwi, well, they just love going down, right? So now think of the overall moves that we're seeing, right? Come back to the daily charts, take the noise out, which this is just another noise event, and you can see exactly what's going on. We've got great trending markets. And the dollar, well, on the dollar index, it's just creeping above, but on all the other pairs, actually, I should say dollar yen as well. Dollar CAD down, euro still up, sterling still up, and Aussie and Kiwi still out of the game, right? They've been out of the game since the US started really picking a fight with China with regards to the tariffs. So that's where we are at the moment. Now, what's our job? Our job is to find the good trading opportunities, right? Now, on the live trade signals at the moment, sterling CAD is in the buy zone. It's probably the only cross pair that is really right there at the moment. Like if I just scroll down to the overall market analysis, no surprise here that the majors are all uncertain, right? Because the dollar is involved, right? And it sort of makes sense. But you come back up the top here and have a look at the euro and sterling pairs against everything else. Euro is bullish against everything, and Aussie and Kiwi are sort of pretty much bearish against everything. Sterling also holding up well, but euro is the clear-cut winner, and sterling would be the next best pair. So start to look at your cross-currency pairs, particularly the euro crosses and the sterling crosses. Now, as we sort of piece together this week, okay, we've got some sort of key sort of second-tier numbers coming out. We've got just to start the week off, Monday, well, there's some PMI numbers. I think Monday, you can put a line through Monday, right? Because the market will be digesting the Iran situation, seeing what it does for us, seeing if there's a follow through in oil, seeing if there's any ramifications about the strikes, right? Really, you want it to come down as quickly as possible because, one of the key events this week is the Canadian inflation numbers Tuesday. Always important for central bank policy. So that's something we're going to look for. Wednesday, Thursday, you've got, I should say Tuesday, Wednesday in the US, the Fed Chairman Powell is testifying. I think it's a couple of Senate committees, the usual sort of they get him in front of a committee, try and sort of break him down as into what's going on, why you're doing this, why you're doing that. So we're sort of just looking to see what his take is on the economy. You can sometimes get some odd things coming out there. Now, coming into Thursday, durable goods, GDP numbers out of the US, consumer confidence numbers out of Germany, right? These are all little building blocks for the whole background on inflation. And on Friday, we do have one of the other inflation numbers, PCE price index. We'll see what happens as we get closer to that. But there are, there's little bits and pieces coming out here and there. But these, I'm just focusing on the key events that could really impact. Now, whilst we sort of look at the overall market, I think the starting point is the live trade signals, right? Let this guide you into what is in play. And as I said, looking at the euro crosses is definitely one of the things that you should be looking at, right? You can go through the calendar by all means, but when it comes to really isolating the best pairs, you can see very clearly here. And if I just come up to the euro crosses on the hourlies, this is where you want to spend your time doing your technical analysis, okay? And really fine tuning it. Treat euro as the major, right? Because it is the one instrument that is outperforming all the other currencies, or all the developed currencies anyway, right? And that's something that you should really be focusing on. Draw some trend lines, see where you can get in, and we'll piece it together from there, right? And that's pretty much it. You look across the board at the moment. Okay, we've got a risk-off profile. US equity futures are down, right? The US Treasury bonds prices are down. That means the yields are up, okay, which supports a stronger dollar, which is what we're seeing, right? So even with all this Iran carnage, the markets are lining up quite well. We've just got a risk-off profile. Yep, Euro sterling, Aussie Kiwi down, and the dollar going up. The safe haven pairs, well, they aren't. So the risk-on, risk-off pairs, no good. Bit of a mixed reaction here on the safe haven, so just be careful before you run in there. And if anything, everyone's talking about oil, right? So the oil trade, CAD yen, dollar CAD, and crude. Check those out. That's probably your best starting point for the week. Check out the euro crosses. Go in and have a look at the oil trade as well, and line up, dollar CAD with oil. See what's going on, because that's where the focus is going to be for the global markets. All right, guys. I mean, it's one of those weird ones, right? We get through the tariffs. We've got now a little bit of carnage. Hopefully, it calms down. I know that the Don has come out and blasted everything and then said, look, now's the time for peace. We're all good. It's a matter of seeing what the reaction is from Iran, if they have any capabilities, or whether China or Russia get involved, right? Hopefully they don't, and we just go back to normal market conditions, which is quite odd, I'm going to say, at the moment. Our normal market conditions are a little bit erratic, to say the least. But what we're looking for, just focus. We're only looking for 1 or 2 good trades a week, right? So when you go through, you're looking through the calendar and the live trade signals, well, make sure you just wait, right? Trading Monday/Tuesday, especially after a major event like this, it's a little bit haphazard, right? So check out the calendar, go through, find out where the sort of key events, and then look for instruments, particularly euro. We get euro strength here, okay? It's going to be really good. If we got weak euro numbers, it's really good, because at the moment it's going up and they will all pull back. So just wait for the right timing. Look for euro trades to start the week, and we'll see how it plays out. And I'll keep you tuned up as we go through the week. All right, guys, all the best. Cheerio.